What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Paddock, and today I'm going to show you how to play faster lines in your improvisation. On social media, there are a couple questions that come up all of the time, and one of those questions is, how do I play faster? And my answer has always been, work on your technique, work on your scales, get your fingers moving faster. But last week when I was teaching one of my adult Skype students, she was crushing a solo on Blue Bossa. She has no problem playing fast. Her technique is really good. And at the end of it, she said, how do I play faster notes in this solo? And at that moment, I realized that she was asking me the question that everyone has been asking me on social media for the last couple of years that I wasn't answering correctly. So today, I'm going to show you how to introduce faster notes into your improvisation lines. Before we dive in the video, I'm very excited to announce a partnership with Legere Reads. They are going to be sponsoring my videos for the month of December. So I'll be doing 8 videos in the month of December, and they're going to be sponsoring them all. And I'm really excited about this because I play Legere Reads. As you can see, I play a Legere Signature 2.25. So these are Legere Signatures. These are the reeds I use. This is the tenor version. And over these next few videos, I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why I play Legere and why I think everyone should at least give them a try. So my first reason for playing Legere is the consistency. Every single time I pick up my saxophone, it feels the same. Every new reed I get, it feels the same. I never, ever worry or think about reeds. I just put a reed on and it works, and it's amazing. Before that, I played Rico Jazz Select No. 3 soft filed, and it was a constant struggle to have a reed that worked. And ever since I switched to Legere, I put these on. They last for about 3 to 4 months for me. For my students, they last around 6 months. I play a little bit more than my students do, though. So every 3 months or so, I know that I'm due for a new reed, so I start putting a new one on about a month or so before, just to kind of break it in a little bit. And I never, ever worry about reeds. So if you have not tried Legere's, I strongly suggest giving the Signature a try on your saxophone. Okay, now back to the tutorial. How do we play fast on the saxophone? Now, obviously, before you can implement this in your improv lines, you have to already have an ability to play fast, whether you're playing your scales or some technique exercises. And fast is relative to what your ability is. Obviously, someone who's like full-time professional saxophone, their idea of fast is not going to be the same as an adult intermediate student or a semi-pro. So I'm just going to give you some ideas today on how to introduce fast notes into your solos. That seems to be the hardest thing, is to figure out how do I get these notes into my solos. So I'm going to show you that, and it's actually a pretty easy process. So to do it, we are going to play our G Mixolydian scale. So a G Mixolydian scale is a G scale with a flat 7. So it's a G scale with an F natural. So we're just going to play our G Mixolydian scale to start. Now, if you notice, I played it in a swing style because we're going to be talking about these fast notes. We're going to do them in a jazz setting. So we're going to start off with swing notes. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is introduce a triplet. So for the first 3 notes, we're just going to play a triplet. So for the G, A, B in our G Mixolydian scale, we're going to play them as a triplet. Pretty easy, right? And the notes are already picking up. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of improvise using this G Mixolydian scale. We're just going to kind of do scale-wise motion for the most part, but go beyond the G and the G. So we're going to go beyond the roots. And on beat 1 of every measure, we're going to throw in some triplets. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, there you go. That's it. So we're forcing these triplets in. Obviously, when you're soloing, you don't want to put a triplet on beat 1 of every measure that you're playing. But the first idea is to just get really comfortable playing these faster notes. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to put it on beat 2, and we might switch up the order a little bit. So we're going to do maybe snake through the scale a little bit more. Obviously, you need to know how to improvise before you add faster notes into your improv. So I'm assuming people who are watching this video and learning how to play faster notes already know how to improvise. So we're going to improvise using this G Mixolydian scale, but we're going to put triplets on beat 2. This time we're going to do it on beat 3. Pretty easy, right? Now we're doing it on beat 4. 2, ready, go. So we've introduced the triplets on each beat. This time we're going to do 2 sets of triplets. So it's going to be triplet, triplet, 3 and 4 and. This time we're going to put on beats 2 and 3. And this time 3 and 4. So if you notice on that last one, instead of just going straight up and down the scale, I mixed up the order a little bit. So I went. I'm just playing triplets, but I'm skipping around in the scale so it doesn't sound like I'm just playing a scale. So this time, I'm going to improvise and just put triplets wherever I feel like it. It might be on beat 1. It might be on beat 2. I might do 2 triplets in a row. I might do 3 triplets in a row. Since you've already done the triplets on each beat and we've doubled up the triplets, you should feel fairly comfortable with them. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, ready, go. That's it. So we're already playing faster. We're playing triplets. So that's speeding it up. Our next step is going to be 16th notes. But if the examples that I'm playing are a little bit faster than you can play, then just slow down what you're working on. You don't have to play at my speed. You just have to play in a consistent time. So you could do this. Your tempo doesn't matter as long as you are playing consistent time and you're playing your 8th notes and your triplets. Now, we've sped up our improv lines with triplets. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with 16th notes. So we're going to start off with 4 16th notes. Right? 4 16th notes, and then so this will be 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to play 16th notes on beat 1 of every measure. Now on beat 2. Beat 3. And of course beat 4. Again, pretty easy, right? So the reason I'm having you do it on beat 1 and then on beat 2 and then on beat 3 and on beat 4 is so that you get really comfortable playing the 16th notes. Playing 16th notes in improv is not super difficult once you can feel it. And if you kind of force yourself to put it on different beats, you can start it and stop it with no problem. So now we're going to do it 2 sets of 16th notes in a row. So we're going to do it on beats 1 and 2. So it's going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and. You have those lines are starting to speed up. Now we're going to do it on beats 2 and 3. And of course beats 3 and 4. Now, we're just going to put them in random spots. So we're going to play 16th notes wherever we want. On beats 1 and 2, on beats 3, on beats 4, on beats 1, 2, and 3. Put them wherever you want, wherever you feel comfortable. And again, take this at whatever tempo you're super comfortable playing. That way you're not pushing yourself too hard on the 16th notes. Once you get used to playing the 16th notes, implementing them in the solos is actually going to be pretty easy. So here we go. We're going to put 16th notes anywhere we feel like it. There we go. We're already playing faster lines. Now, it definitely doesn't sound super cool yet because we're just basically playing scales using 16th notes and 8th notes. So the way to make it sound better is to snake through the notes a little bit more and jump. So do intervals, ones or thirds and fourths and chord-wise motion. Throw some of that stuff in there. It's definitely going to make it sound way better than just like sounding like a scale. So switch that order up. Now the next thing you want to do is going to make it sound way better is throw some chromaticism in there. So you're playing 16th notes and the notes are going very fast. So you can definitely throw some chromaticism in there. It's going to sound really good. Try to do it in between chord tones, but as long as you start or stop on a chord tone, it's going to sound really good. Yeah, that sounded a lot more like bebop lines. So we're just throwing those 16th notes in there along with their G mix Lydian scale. Now, the last step is to throw all three of those things together. We're going to put triplets in, which we started talking about earlier. Then we're going to put our 16th notes in, and then we're going to add our chromaticism. And when we do all three of those things, you're going to get some really interesting lines. And of course, when we improvise, we're not just going to play scales. We're going to play chords and intervals and that kind of stuff also. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, Do you hear how much more interesting that line sounds when we have the 8th notes, the triplets, the 16th notes? We're jumping around in the chord and we have some chromaticism. There you go. That is how you play faster notes in your improv lines. I'd like to throw another shout out to Legere Reads. Thank you for sponsoring my videos this month. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. If you now understand how to play faster lines in your improvisation, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and give me a thumbs up. And please leave me a comment below. Thanks.